Hello and welcome to this video in the R Analytics course. In one of the previous videos, we had seen how to test for the equality of population means for two samples through the t-test. However, what if the number of samples we want to test on are more than two? In that scenario, we use a test called ANOVA or Analysis of Variance. We saw in the video on ANOVA earlier that how it helps us to find the variation in two or more populations. The variation may be genuinely between the population or just as a result of the sample, which in case is called variation due to residuals or variation within the sample. In that video, we had seen a case for tires from different companies and whether their expected longevity were the same or not. The case we will take here while trying to look at applying our knowledge of ANOVA in R is that of a shoe shop. The shop displays the shoes in 4 shelves. Now the owner of the shop is interested to see that whether the rate of sales from all the shelves is equal or not. Basically, the owner feels that it might so happen that the shelf, which is at a height similar to the eye level of the customer, has a higher rate of sale than the ones which are above or below it. Hence, this is a case where we want to see how to design our store in order to maximize our sales if there genuinely is a difference in the average sales of shoes from individual shelves. To ensure that no other factor affects this test, the owner designs an experiment. He takes a type of a shoe and keeps it on the first shelf for 20 days, then it shifts it to the second one for the same number of days, then the third shelf, and finally to the fourth shelf for another 20 days. While they are at different shelves, he records the sale of those shoes from each period to collect a sizable sample for all the shelves. Now, the only thing that would have affected the sale of the shoes between those days would be the shelf on which it was. Since it is just one factor on the basis of which we have separated the samples, we will conduct a one-way ANOVA test. We have already seen the theory and formulae behind the calculation of metrics in ANOVA in an earlier video. Just to recap, we show you the table over here. The sources of variation could be between samples or within samples. We then calculate the sum of squares known as SSB for between samples and SSW or SSR for within samples. The degrees of freedom are k-1 for between samples, n-k for within samples, where k are the number of groups and n the number of observations. Mean sum of squares is nothing but sum of squares divided by the respective degrees of freedom. And finally, the calculated statistic is the F statistic, with degrees of freedom k-1 and n-k. It is calculated as mean sum of squares between samples divided by mean sum of squares within samples. The null hypothesis is that all the means are equal, and the alternate one is that they are not. Now let us look at the data we have from 4 shelves for the 20 days of sales. We can see for the first shelf we sold 45 units on day 1, 26 on the second day, 60 on the third, and so on. Similarly, we have data for the rest of the 3 shelves. As we did in the previous videos, we will first conduct this test in Excel and then go to R. First thing that we will calculate is the mean for all the 4 groups. To do that, we use the average formula in Excel. Next step is to find the deviation of each observation in a group from its respective mean. So we take the first observation and subtract it from the mean of the first group. Please remember to freeze the mean so that we can drag the formula for all the observations in a group. On close observation, we have just frozen the row and not the column, so that the formula holds true for each group even when we drag it across columns. Therefore, we get the deviations for each observation. Then we square all these deviations for each observation. Next, we sum up all the squared deviations to get the sum of squares within groups. The value we get is 15,494.3. Next, we want to calculate the sum of squares between groups. For that, we will first find the grand mean, which is the mean of all observations from all the 4 groups. To get the grand mean, we simply find the average of all the 80 observations, which comes out to be 35.425. After that, we will get the deviation of every group mean from this grand mean. Once we have done that, we will square these deviations too. After squaring, we multiply each squared deviation with the sample size, which is 20. Now the sum of these 4 values is what is called sum of squares between groups. It comes out to be 473.25. Now that we have the sum of squares, we have to convert them into mean sum of squares. This will be done by dividing both the numbers with their respective degrees of freedom. We know that for SSW, that is sum of squares within groups, degrees of freedom is n minus k. And that for SSB, that is sum of squares between groups, is k minus 1. In our example, we have a total of 80 observations, which is n, and 4 groups, that is k. Thus, the degrees of freedom for SSW and SSB are 76 and 3 respectively. The mean sum of squares between groups comes out to be 157.75. Similarly, when we divide SSW by 76, we get the MSW to be equal to 203.8724. Therefore, the F statistic value will be 157.75 divided by 203.8724, which is 0.77377. This is our calculated test statistic. To find the critical value from the F table, we need to look at the value corresponding to 3 and 76 degrees of freedom. When we open the F distribution table at 5% level of significance, we will look for the value corresponding to the third column and the 76th row. The value comes out to be 2.73. Therefore, the calculated value is less than the critical value. This implies we do not reject the null hypothesis. Hence, we conclude that there is no significant difference in the sails between shells. Let us now conduct this test in R. The data that we will import in R looks like this. We have already imported this file in R and named it sail data. We use read.xlsx command to import an Excel file in R. Now we will conduct ANOVA on this set of data. We write AOV, which is an acronym for Analysis of Variance. We need to give 3 arguments for this formula in R. The first argument is the dependent variable or y. Second argument is the independent variable x. And the third argument is the name of the data set, which is sail data. In this example, y variable or the dependent variable is the sail quantity, and the independent one is shelf. To write in brackets, we start with sail quantity followed by the tilde sign to signify for formula, unit number, and then comma followed by data equal to sale data. The moment we press enter, we get the result. We get the values for sum of squares between and within groups as 473.25 and 15,494.30 as expected. The degrees of freedom are 3 and 76 as we saw earlier. Another way to conduct the ANOVA test is to use the attach command. This option helps us attach a dataset to R and then conduct tests on the same. What this will help us with is that once we have attached this dataset in R, we need not mention it again and again in the formula till we attach a new dataset. So we write attach followed by the name of the dataset. As we press enter, we can see R gives us the headers of the columns in the sale data dataset. Now we again write AOV and put the y and x variables in it like we did earlier, although we need not mention the dataset again. As we press enter, we get the same output. Now how do we check whether we reject the null hypothesis or not? To do that, let us save this result in a variable first. We then use the summary formula and put the variable name in brackets. As we press enter, we can see the ANOVA table in front of us. It has sum of squares, degrees of freedom, mean sum of squares, the F value and the P value. We get the same values that we got when we calculated them in Excel. We can see that the P value is greater than the level of significance, which also implies that the null hypothesis should not be rejected. This is it for this video. Thank you.